Good morning. I have literally been up all night listening to this rain. It has been raining all night nonstop over here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And Spirit was telling me something. And I wanted to come and talk about it. So, this is High Priestess Jamila. And I wanted to come and speak about, I guess I wanted to come and speak to, I don't know, to people who think that they are being sneaky, or to people who think that people don't know when you're doing witchcraft on them. But mainly, this is a discussion that I think everybody is going to really, really enjoy. Um, so, mainly when it comes to baneful workings, especially workings that involve necromancy. And in particular, when it comes to swapping souls and curses and, hexes and baneful magical workings. And I have spoken to and have also been through my own spiritual wars enough to be able to speak on this. I really think that there are honestly people who I think that there's people out there that honestly don't think that people know what they're up to. Like, there's some people that don't know. There's some people that really don't know. Like, I can honestly attest to that. But of the thousands of people that I have spoken to over the past several years, I can tell you that the intuition is a hell of a thing. Okay. And I think people think that they can just do some witchcraft on people and people not know about it. Good morning, Jen. Hello. Happy Monday. People, and I think a lot of witches, I think a lot of witches assume that people are stupid. I think I think that being a witch is different. I think it does make you different. I really do. But I also think that there are a lot of witches out there that think that, I guess what they call common folk, don't know when they're doing work on them. People know. There are some people out there that are not witches, but they have a great intuition. They have a very sharp intuition. And I will speak to these people and they know. They know when somebody's doing witchcraft on them. A lot of people. Like there are some, like I said, there's some people in this world that just have no idea. I think that in particularly it can be. I think that a lot of young people don't realize it, if it's being done to them. And I mean, but I think that the older you get, the wiser you get. People know. People know when you have went to a witch to have work done. And I think that a lot of people do not realize that. For example, there are some people that practice in private. They are not out of the broom closet, and they will do spells and rituals on people. In particular, the ones that are baneful. And I think that there are some people that think that they're helping somebody sometimes when they're doing baneful magic on others. Those people know. And I think people need to know that. Not only do people know, but they also know exactly what a person has done. And they don't even have to be a witch to know. They just know. Like if somebody has done any form of magic, they people don't have to be a witch to know. And keep in mind that being a psychic is not the same as being a witch. In fact, they're two different things. You don't necessarily have to be a psychic to be a witch, and you don't have to be a witch to be a psychic. Does that make sense? People know. People know when you've done something to harm them. I talk to them all the time. People contact me all the time about things that have been done to them. And I think that a lot of people need to take that into consideration when you have knowledge of the craft, or if you are a witch, you think that you're doing things, you know, in secret, and you're not. I don't know if it is because of the times have changed. Maybe it's because we're in the age of Aquarius. But people know, even if you deny it, there are some people like, okay, so I have been I have been accused of doing work on people that I wasn't doing work on. I've had that happen. Oh, that happens to me all the time. People, complete strangers that I don't even know who have problems, will try to blame it on me. Okay. I've actually had that weirdness happen to me. People contacted my business phone saying, "Oh, you did some work on my husband, or you did something." Like, no, I don't need who. I'm sorry, who is your husband? I don't know you. Uh, But I'm talking about people that know you, or a person doesn't even have to know the person. Like, they don't have to have any awareness to know that some kind of magic has been done on them. And I think that a lot of witches can become very narcissistic in thinking that people are stupid because they are not. They're not stupid at all. Now, I do have an opinion, and I don't know if Jen would agree with this, but I do have an opinion that you have to use witchcraft to remove witchcraft. That's just my opinion. Do I believe that you can pray it away? No, I don't. Okay. I don't know. I guess some people are going to disagree with me. I guess it would depend on who you're praying to or why you're praying. Okay. Or what it is exactly the situation is. So I don't know. I feel more secure using witchcraft to remove witchcraft and not prayer. It's just me. You know, I mean, there are some people that are in denial. They'll just say, oh no, this is just life, you know, but I don't agree. I don't. So it's not a secret. A lot of people really honestly think that. That's just like I know exactly like the major stuff, the stuff that really really counts. Like for example, if somebody is doing work on me to cause health problems, or someone's doing work on my love life, or if someone's doing work on my business, my company, I'm going to see it, I'm going to know it. If somebody's doing work on my children, I'm going to know it. If somebody's doing work on my husband, I'm going to know it, and I'm going to know exactly what you've done, exactly what you've done. There is like no limits or bounds. It isn't. There are no boundaries when it comes to witchcraft as far as what you can do. Do I believe that people should just be playing around with it just for the hell of it? Nope, I don't. And there is a reason why the Bible condemns witchcraft. It is because it can cause so much suffering, a lot of pain and suffering. It can cause people to lose their lives, but not exactly through a physical death, but more so in a sense to where you spend so much time wrapped up. I think the most heartbreaking that I have witnessed is people doing necromancy and placing people under possession. I cannot stress enough how often this happens. I can't even stress enough how often that happens. I think that we would actually live in a better world if we accepted paganism as the number one spiritual belief. I do. I believe that we would live in a better world because there would be less people that were ignorant, because ignorance is not bliss. There's a lot of people suffering right now because of people carelessly using witchcraft and necromancy on them. just to be hateful, just to be mean. A lot of it is happening. And even though I have my like far out beliefs of what God is, like, nature is my church, and I believe that God is the earth. I believe that earth is well, all the planets obviously are a physical manifestation of God. And so earth is just one of them. But I still believe in judgment. I still believe in Judgment Day. I still believe in God. I still believe that God doesn't want us doing certain things. So, for example, when I talk about necromancy, so there's a good side, a very, very good side of having knowledge of necromancy, but then there's a horrifying side of necromancy. And that is when a person's soul or their essence is taken out, the bad side, it's taken out, whether or not it's fully taken or fragmented, and it is replaced with a malignant and a malevolent spirit. That is a part of necromancy that I hate. I don't like it. I don't think that most people deserve that. They don't. I think that there's probably some people that deserve it, you know, but I don't think most people deserve that. Yeah, I agree. Ashley Rose, I agree. And I think that witchcraft is being used to purposely cause trauma. I believe that if you have an abusive personality already to begin with, if you have a very sadistic personality, like if you were kind of born that way, and you discover the craft, I believe that an abusive person would absolutely use the craft to create trauma, right? Hi, Margaret. Hello. The good side of witchcraft, in particular, when it comes to necromancy, is when you can save somebody's soul, when you can exorcise a person of that malignant spirit and get their soul back. But I believe that there's so many people that lack the education. I believe that we have been dumbed down on purpose for the sole purpose of diabolical people who just want power and they'll do anything to get it, even if that means hurting you, hurting your loved ones, hurting your children. And I don't agree with it. I really don't. I don't agree with it. Seeing, oh man, I've even been through my own devastation simply because somebody couldn't get over it and they wanted revenge. People are literally turning people's worlds upside down for the smallest little things. And one of the biggest questions that I get from people, you know what they say to me? They say, but why did this person do this to me? I mean, there could be all sorts of reasons. Maybe because they want to take advantage, maybe because they're jealous, but you know, it really a person, people don't have to have a reason. They think that they are committing a harmless crime if they are not stabbing someone to death or shooting them to death or beating them to death. They feel like witchcraft is a harmless way of harming people. And I think that that's the way a lot of people look at witchcraft. They don't look at the good side of it, they only see the bad side. Anyway, yeah. So people are becoming more and more aware every single day of things that are happening to them and being done to them. People can feel it. When you're throwing stuff at them and they don't even have to know anything about witchcraft, they can just feel it. They can feel when somebody's doing something harmful to them. They may be confused about who's doing it. I've seen that happen a lot. I've seen people messed up, all kinds of messed up because of witchcraft, and they blame me. And I'll tell them, no, that's not me. That's so and so that did that to you. And they're like, oh, and because it's meant to cause confusion. You know, it's meant to cause confusion. It's meant to cause, black magic or baneful magic is meant to cause division. Is what it's meant to do. Sometimes division is good, though. I will tell you that. But in a lot of cases, it's not. It's hurting people, it's harming people, it's making people sick, it's destroying people's lives. And so I think that people that literally do it for fun, they just curse people for fun. They don't do it as a necessity. Because I do agree that some people deserve to be cursed, but those people are probably already cursed. If you feel that somebody deserves to be cursed, then they're already cursed. So probably the best thing would be to send their negative energy back to them and protect yourself because that person is probably already cursed. But I'm talking about specific situations, you know, very specific situations where a person may be trying to take down somebody for whatever stupid reason that they have. It's usually a stupid reason that is not justified. There's a lot of unjustified, baneful magic that is happening. And I think that there are some people that they do things and they think, oh, I'm just going to get away with it. And so here's a big one. I have been getting so many clients that come in and their current boo, whatever you call it, their current boo thing has an ex that went to a witch. And that ex may not have went to the witch to do harm. That ex may have went to the witch for maybe what they consider to be white magic. Like maybe they just went to go get a cord cutting. Maybe they went to try to get that person back. But there's a couple of different scenarios that may have happened. Maybe they went to somebody for good purposes, but then the practitioner was dirty. Dirty practitioners. I have been seeing this a lot to where, and you can see it so clearly in the readings, to where an ex went to a witch, a bad witch, and the witch did work. But the witch did work to curse that person, or either to steal their energy, or to steal their life force, or to feed off of them instead of actually doing the work. So the work didn't actually work on them, but what ended up happening is that that person ended up being a sacrifice. So I find myself telling people all the time, or I'll have a client that went to a witch and you have to be careful who you go and speak to about your loved ones. You cannot just go to these people and think that you can trust them. You can't. Okay. And I think that's one of the names of the games, especially on YouTube. Let the games begin. Oh, you can't trust that person. You can't trust that person. You can't trust that person. I'm telling y'all what I know, and it is very scary because if you go to somebody and they trick you or they fool you into thinking that everything's going to be okay, that person will take your man, take your kids, take your life, and then put you under some kind of hoodoo to where you're thinking that that person is helping you and they're not. I saw a story like this, and this lady had to have been a witch. I can't remember the people's names. I think this happened over in Korea, though. Okay. This happened over in Korea. And this lady she becomes friends with this really, really dominating and domineering woman. And she was married and she had like 3 or 4 kids. And the lady was so manipulative that she ruined her marriage. She convinced this lady to leave her husband and to move into like some kind of apartment to where it was like government subsidized, some crap like that. Convinces her to move into the apartment. Keep in mind the husband was not a bad person. It was not a bad marriage. This lady convinced her to leave her husband and to only feed her children a slice of bread per day. This lady was so taken by this other woman. They were not lovers. It wasn't like no lesbo, nothing. It was literally this lady was just evil and she was manipulating this woman. Her children started dying of starvation. I'm going to find that story and share it to my community wall. It's almost in comparison to that. So for me, I will point out the people that may be getting work done on you that are within your family. But I'm never going to tell you to turn your back on your husband or your children or even your parents. It depends. It really does, because I've seen many, many parents get taken that way. It's almost like they're gone or something. It's very weird. So when you see a parent turn on their child, that to me is witchcraft, especially if the parent raised the child and then all of a sudden. And I think that this happens in the church too. I've heard of people being great parents, being great family members, and converting over to some kind of religion that completely manipulates them and brainwashes them. So it is a very, very real thing that you have to be careful out here. You cannot trust everybody. I don't, honestly, there's probably only one or two people that I have seen on YouTube, maybe three witches on YouTube that I would trust with the people that I love. Otherwise, the rest of them, nah. So be careful out there, seriously. But going back to my original topic, even when that happens, people are not stupid, but there are some people who are very, very, very easily influenced. And I've seen it. I've seen people, that's just like, so for example, for me, listen, I can communicate with your departed relatives. I can do that. I can do seances. I can do that. I am a liaison between you and your spirit guide. So I can do readings. I can interpret angelic messages and dreams and things of that nature and do readings. But I'm also a witch. So I am not going to, like, I don't know, beat around the bush or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person. I don't speak cryptically to people. It's just straight up front. Like, I can't with that. You know what I'm saying? And even though I realize that there is a world that is literally the only thing that separates us from that world of magic is a veil, is like air. It's like right there within your reach, that spirit of magic. And this is where all of these mysteries are at. But I don't know how I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm probably kind of sleepy because I've been up all night listening to the rain, literally, and playing Wadoku. Seriously. It's a very, very, very real thing, though. I know that people have an intuition. That's why I have such a good relationship with my clients, because I'm 100% honest. Typically, what I always hear is that is exactly what my intuition was telling me. I hear that all the time. Um, because especially when it comes to spiritual work that is being done. So then you have out there what we call the frauds, but the frauds themselves are not frauds. They're just tricksters, is what they are. And this is a person that I believe is either going to be able to manifest the things that you want, but maybe they can only manifest it short term, or they can't manifest it, but they'll just take your money and disappear. That can sometimes be a part of it as well. It can. Um, but I still believe that that is a test of your faith right there. When that happens, it's a test of your faith, even when that happens. Now, there's also the tricksters, the frauds that literally will tell you they're going to do something for you, but they have an intent to do the total opposite. And if you question them about it, they will attack you very viciously. And I don't agree with doing that. I don't. I really honestly don't. I don't think anybody deserves that. I really don't. I don't believe in that. But there's people out there like that. I think that those people have one foot in the door and one foot out of witchcraft because I believe that they have a negative opinion of witchcraft. They don't like witchcraft. They don't like themselves. So, however a person feels about themselves, they're going to project it to you. It just is what it is. I think understanding the different personality types of witches is important. But I can tell you that witchcraft is very, very real, and necromancy is very, very, very real. I have had people, for some reason, the past couple of days, commenting on my body swapping video. That is a very, very real thing. And it's something that you have to look out for because it is no joke. You can lose yourself and you can lose everything you have, your talents, your gifts. For some reason, I was looking at Whitney Houston earlier and I was thinking somebody took her voice. I was actually thinking that. And a lot of people would say, oh, it was her smoking, it was this and that. But how? I mean, there's been many, many great singers that smoked weed as well as other drugs, and they didn't lose their voice. So I was actually looking at her thinking that. I'm not going to get deep into that because I don't really like to talk about conspiracy theories because I ain't trying to get attacked by nobody. I ain't trying to be put on no list. I'm going to mind my business when it comes to that because Whitney Houston is in a better place. She's in a beautiful place. And she's a beautiful angel who will always be in our hearts. So, but I was using her as an example because people can really, really, really do a lot of damage to a person. with witchcraft, and you just really have to be aware of it. But I wanted to speak about to people that think that people don't know. Oh, spirit will tell it. I don't care what you do to try to cause as much confusion and chaos around it. People are going to know. And especially people that are on their correct path. People that are on their path in their life, they are doing exactly what they and their spirits agreed to, right? This is where they want them. And then here you come in. Their spirits are going to immediately come and tell them, you are not moving in silence. You are not doing anything in the dark. God sees you. Spirit sees you and what you're doing. Okay. So, spirit wanted me to say that. It's in particular to people that think, oh, I know witchcraft and I'm angry at the world. I want to do this and do that and do this and do that. And I can do whatever I want to these people. And these people are just crap to me. They are nothing to me. These are people that are living their life under the sun god and the moon goddess, and you ain't right. So that's just what that is. That's why I'm very, 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 very careful about who I do work on. And I'm very, very, very careful with how it ain't about what you doing, it's how you do it. Okay. So, because I get involved in very complicated situations, especially the ones where you have two or three or four women fighting over the same man. Have to be very, very careful because, do I believe in karma? Eh, probably about 50-50. Do I believe that I would get karma for throwing a curse at somebody and being a little too harsh for them? No. I know how to clear my karma. No. I think that if I felt like I had negative karma, I would clear that stuff up. And I think that when you do that, but I honestly, unless somebody were trying to do harm to me or hurt me or my children or my loved ones and the people that I love, I would feel guilty just going out there and just saying, I'm going to throw some black magic at that person. And I'm going to throw some black magic at this person, that person. And that person ain't did nothing to me. And, oh, I see those people over there happy. Let me throw something at them. Nah. See what I'm saying? So I don't work that way. And, I don't know. It's probably because I don't have to. I don't have to do that, you know. Now, I have done some bad things. I've done breakup spells, some separation spells, but I don't do evil separation spells. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because there are some separation spells that, oh my goodness gracious, I don't even want to get into it. But, you know, I've done separation workings for clients. Like, for example, there was this husband and his wife that was attacking my client. Like, they were witches and they were just attacking the fuck out of my client. And she was his ex-wife. For some reason, the current wife decided to attack the ex-wife. We assumed that it was because she was trying to get custody of the children so that they wouldn't have to pay child support. was really messed up. They were definitely witches, confirmed a witch and a warlock in a relationship together. Now, in that case, I did a separation on them and lit a damn doom candle and did a hell working on them. I sure did. Do I feel bad for that? No, not at all. Not at all. Because they were trying to uproot this woman and these kids, and they were doing all kind of stuff. They were, oh my God, they were throwing so much stuff at my client, that she was suffering depression, anxiety. The kids were scared of their father. They were scared of the stepmother. I mean, God only knows what would have happened if they would have got custody of those children, because these were bad people. And you can't just go up to somebody unless they admit that they're practicing witchcraft. You can't just go up to somebody and say, "Did you do some witchcraft on me?" Because more than likely they're going to deny it. But we knew that that's what it was. And I broke them up because they were very toxic. I sure did. Um, and he actually ended up becoming a better father because the children were afraid of him. They were like, "We don't like daddy since he hooked up with old girl." For real. So yeah, that relationship had to go. Okay. So that was more so like it was like, okay, yeah, we got to work this out somehow. But so I mean, but I think that, if they were not doing that and they were just trying to be supportive of her, um, and not trying to be diabolical, not trying to use the court system against her, I wouldn't have done it that way. They wouldn't have had to have broke up. Yeah, they broke up. It took like 6 months. And they broke up for good because they were toxic. The toxic couple that were kind of like feeding off of each other's hatred and paranoia and weirdness. So that relationship had to go. Okay, because it was hurting my client as well as her children. And things are better. I think old girl was from like either Jamaica or the Dominican Republic, one of them. And she moved back to where she came from, and he stayed here. And now they're co-parenting and getting along. So, yeah. Anyway, people are not stupid. I don't know why people think people are stupid. People are not dumb. People know, like, that you're doing work on them. Especially when it comes to, like it seems far-fetched. I've got to do a soul retrieval like next week on somebody that just went to somebody and this person cursed this person. That's exactly what a curse is sometimes. If you curse somebody, you don't necessarily have to put a bad spirit on them. A lot of people, they limit their beliefs as far as with curses. You don't have to conjure a spirit to curse somebody. You don't. You can use just sheer will and intent and energy. Okay. You don't, and thought and vision to curse somebody. You don't have to conjure a spirit. But what was put on this person was that damn soul eating demon. And it doesn't necessarily eat the soul all at once, even though I've seen it happen. I call it body snatching. So it must be like different, entity prototypes or something. Okay. People know when you're doing work on their men. People know when you're doing work on their kids because all of a sudden their kids is kind of talking crazy or something, or acting different. People are not just dumb thinking, oh, I think that the wind blew and something happened. No, people are not stupid. So you can't really complain because God does look at, well, who started it? Who conjured this spirit? If you conjure a spirit, you are responsible for that spirit. You can't cry wolf and say, oh God, I threw this, I went and dug up some graveyard dirt and conjured a spirit and put it on somebody, and then, oh my God, woe is me. They sent it back to me. Come on now. But you got a lot of people that do that. They think that way. And then all of a sudden they're playing victim. But I think that the whole soul eating thing is a whole other ball game that people need to be aware of. Okay? People need to be aware of that. There are entities that want to inhabit a human body. Some of these entities have never been human, ever. Not even close to having an understanding of a human being and right from wrong and having any kind of human soul or consciousness. It is a very, very, very real thing for a person to be drugged to hell spiritually, their soul, and an entity take their body. And see, here's the thing about it. There are signs of that. Some of them may be obvious, some of them may be subtle. Odd, off putting behavior, odd speech, somebody speaking totally different, somebody having a different personality all of a sudden. And if it's not fixed, what do you think that entity is going to start doing? It's going to start tearing down the person's body. It's going to start tearing down the person's body. And certain things are going to start happening. There's going to be certain signs of that happening. Okay. So, and if you notice that in your loved ones, and like one of the classic things is women coming to me about their husband. Oh my God, he's different. Oh my God, certain things are happening. He's starting to do this. He's starting to do that. His skin is starting to look weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we got a clean bill of health from the doctor. What is going on? Rarely do men want to listen. That is going to be society's shame and downfall. Men who refuse to listen when somebody is telling them that somebody is doing work on them. That is going to always be a problem. Most men, like a vast majority of them, which is why men are public enemy number one. You go and look at these channels of these, videos about abusive men or, men that killed their wives, and you'll just see, the women in the comment section, and they're just like, oh, these men are da 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 da, and there's a reason for that. It's not just because women are stupid. They're very smart, but they're stupid at the same time because a lot of those women don't have that spiritual discernment as well. Yeah, if a man is a murderer, he's just a murderer. He just has a murdering spirit that may be his soul. But in a lot of those cases, when you look at it, it's like, what in the world happened? And I told y'all there's certain milestones that people will curse you at. If you have a baby, people will curse you. You graduate high school, people will throw curses. You go to college, people will throw curses. You buy a house, people will throw curses. You buy a car, people will throw curses. Why? Probably out of jealousy. Envy is one of the seven deadly sins. People are unaware, totally unaware. So be aware of that. But I wanted some of these witches out here, especially some of those that are playing around. Don't play with me. Don't play with my yo yo. Y'all remember that song by Yo Yo? Don't play with my yo yo. Oh, I see everything that a witch is doing. Even some of the most craftiest, most, you know, darkest ones, they think, oh, I'm in a dark room and I'm doing this and I'm not even lighting a candle. I'm just in the dark and I'm meditating, you know, because you can do a lot in meditation. You can do a lot in meditation, a lot. And I can always tell when I wake up in the morning, I can feel it. I can always tell. Okay. When somebody's doing work, I can just feel it, you know? And so mm, it's kind of a waste of time with some people, but with some people, they just go total puppet for the puppet master. Total puppet. Just don't even realize, the power that is within a voodoo doll. Shit. In a flame of a candle and just a flame within itself. A lot of people are willing to stay ignorant until they start noticing something like, wait a minute. This was not supposed to happen. Hold on. What happened here? You know? So, yeah. And it's a lot of people that just be doing dirty, dirty, dirty stuff. And I be seeing them. Oh, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what you did. I know what you did. Okay. So, especially like if it's something minor or if you bless somebody, I tend to like to bless people or bliss people. I'm just that type of person. But if you over there doing soul snatching and all that stuff and you're in my radar, oh, I see you. I see you. Okay. And I will go and tell God on you. Hey, Jen, glad you're back. I will go and tell my spirits. I will tell God on you. I just, I can get the soul back. I can get it back. Absolutely. No matter where you hide it, I'm going to find it. But people that are doing stuff like that, spirit feels as though they don't have the right to practice. Good morning, one EQL. Spirit feels like you don't have the right to practice. And they will ultimately bind you. And when you go too crazy with witchcraft and start abusing your power, oh, you'll end up a Nancy. You end up like Nancy. Be losing your mind, losing your memory, losing your just, yeah. So, just y'all be aware. And people have all sorts of reason to curse you. There's some people that will curse you just for wearing white after Labor Day or something. You ain't supposed to wear white after Labor Day or some crap like that. She's wearing white after Labor Day. I'm going to curse her. Oh, I can't believe that she wore those shoes with those jeans. I'm cursing this bitch. you know. Oh, you mean to tell me that this her husband is this and that? Oh, bitch need to be cursed. What? Wow. Okay. So some people look at it as a Hasbro game or something, and it's not. Like, I'm just saying, yeah, you are responsible for the suffering that you cause. Ultimately, you cause it to the wrong person. And people are going to witches all the time. People just don't realize it. I have seen some of these witchy prototypes that are like that. They assume that everybody is stupid. They assume that people are going to believe everything that they say. And that's not the truth. People are not stupid. And they'll say it, oh, these people are just stupid anyway. No, they're not. People will go to somebody and get that crap reversed off of them, broken off of them. And then you gonna end up having to pay the piper. So why play around with it? There are some people that ain't playing though. They doing stuff intentionally and they just have a big smile on their face. Oh, I'm so glad that I did that to this person that doesn't deserve it, that really hasn't done anything to me, that, perhaps I started this stupid war with them. They weren't even trying to war with me. You know what I'm saying? So, people are not dumb, just to let you know. In fact, hey, Natasha, good morning. I have had people come to me and tell me exactly what's going on. And I'll throw the cards and it'll tell the exact story that they just told me. I'm here. I suspect this, and that. And the cards will just lay it all out. Pendulum will lay it all out. Just confirm what they said. Pretty much is what happens. There's certain cards that you'll get if you've been soul snatched. Two of Wands inverted, the World card inverted, the Tower card inverted or upright, the Devil card inverted, the Hanged Man inverted or upright. Typically upright, because if somebody's been soul snatched, that means that the soul energy is being used for something somewhere, and they'll be upside down pretty much. And so, that's it's a system. The tarot is a system that I believe was created by witches, even though they were afraid to call themselves witches back then. It was considered to be a card game. And but there's the illustrations have code in them. It's certain things that we can see. It's not just the meaning of the card. It's just like sometimes I'll lay out my cards, and if I don't understand why I pulled that card, then I start looking at the illustrations, because spirit, that reading is right there. It's all there for you, all the info. Well, Jen, it may not be there for soul snatching purposes, but because I'd say that it depends on the situation. What is the complaint? Oh, I haven't been feeling well. I haven't been feeling myself lately. I've been dizzy. I can't focus. I can't concentrate. Negative thoughts, negative thinking, unclean thoughts. Why are you having unclean thoughts? Because something is trying to take over, and it is a process. I believe it is a process that takes, depending on who you're dealing with, like I said, it can either take some time or it can happen all at once, just like that. It depends on who you're dealing with. And it depends on who did the work. And so that process can be interrupted, the process of that. In fact, if you get woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning by spirit, you're blessed. If you get woke up during the witching hour, somebody might be tiptoeing around like the Pink Panther, trying to snatch your stuff. Okay. So that's a blessing. A lot of people be like, oh, gosh, darn. I got woke up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Damn it, I want to get back to sleep. Please don't wake up and take a NyQuil or something. Spirit is waking you up for a reason. Okay. Somebody's probably trying to take you over, and and it may not even necessarily be caused by a person doing it purposely. Sometimes a person will conjure a spirit, and then and they'll forget about it, and then the spirit will just get to roaming around and just wreaking havoc on people. Okay. So, and there is good possession. There's some possession that we like. There's sometimes I'll ask for Hecate to possess me, or sometimes I'll ask for Isis to possess me. Those are gods, you know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of different, but nobody wants a unfamiliar, unclean spirit possessing them. And there's a reason why, everybody knows Isis. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. There's a reason why those are very popular. Even some of the ones that are less popular that people don't really talk about too much. And that is because people have had a good result and not a negative result, with those spirits, or with those deities. So if your soul is snatched, how do you get it back? It's a ritual that has many, many, many components. What takes your soul and where do they put it? Who takes your soul and where do they put it? Depends. Your soul could be in somebody's basement. Your soul could be in another realm. Well, it's ultimately going to be in another realm. It's going to be in the spirit realm, but there are some people that snatch souls and keep them. Your soul could be put in a bottle or some kind of vessel. The soul could be getting, your spirit or your soul could be getting used by somebody else. Somebody else could literally take your soul, pull it towards them, put it inside of their body, and give you theirs. That happens a lot. I've seen it happen a lot. So you got to be careful when people want to be you. Imitation is not always the best form of flattery. It depends on who it's being done by. Because there are some people that want to be you so bad that they will do swapping rituals on you to where they have all of your power. They will have all of your power. They will have all of your stuff. They will have everything that you are, and you will have what they have, which is probably either might be just a negative demonic or not demonic, malevolent spirit. There's some people that don't have souls that want yours too. So there are people that were born without a soul, or either they lost their soul somehow. Okay. And so if people are cursing you all day and you just curse, and you can't just curse them back or curse with a curse. No, if somebody's cursing you, you can send that curse back. You can send it back. Okay. That's typically what people are doing when they're projecting their stuff to you, is that they are sending you their bad spirits or their curses instead of actually breaking the curse. There's a process of removing a curse. There's a process of removing bad spirits. It's called a cleanse, but then again, it's also a ritual that if it's connected to a spirit, the spirit has to be banished. Okay. So how do you get it out? How did they take it? How? Through intent. There's many, many different rituals. Some people meditate, some people use candles, some people use poppets. Many, many different ways of doing that. Or maybe they'll use it all at once. They'll do it all at once, all, all together. hmm But, yeah, that's one of the biggest things. And typically, when somebody is trying to, I can tell you one thing is that insomnia is a sign that somebody is trying to take your energy, is insomnia, because you won't be able to sleep. And that's a good thing. It's God's way, it's spirit's way of warning you. So I do a energy protection jar for my clients that are having that issue. Um, and so if you ever have insomnia, you should light it up. You should light up that jar. hmm to pull your soul back, to pull your energy back. That's basically what a soul is. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's definitely energy. I mean, there is so much power in a human soul, you would not even believe it. It's something that, are what we have been taught is unimaginable. You couldn't even imagine how much energy is in one single human soul. Okay. I don't know, actress, singer. I would have to do a reading on you, sweetie. You must feel like somebody's trying to take your soul. There are many, many things that Mother Earth naturally provides for us that stops soul feeding or energy harvesting or soul harvesting. That's what you have to take it very seriously. You can't just go, oh, they're energy harvesting, they're soul harvesting. Oh, okay. So what's for dinner? No, like that's when I say that, it's kind of like red alert. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just go, oh, what's for dinner? Or, well, gonna go bowling tonight. You know what I'm saying. Take care of the problem, and then you know, uh, and then go out to dinner. Or another sign of energy harvesting, believe it or not, is feeling like you're breathing stale air. It almost feels like you can't take a full deep breath in. It's like you know, you should be able to breathe in for 3 seconds, 4 seconds. You should be able to exhale. Huge sign. Okay. Oh Lord. I would do a reading if I didn't owe $27,000. Good Lord, actress singer, you're funny. Oh wow. Well, my readings, believe it or not, they are 45% off, so they're actually very affordable. Just in case. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's one of the biggest things that you have to look out for. And, as a practitioner, I think that there are a lot of practitioners that make a lot of money doing that, like probably way, way, way more money than me. I'm not going to sell out. That would, to me, that would be selling out for me to start dealing souls and stuff, and nah, no, thank you. Never would I ever. To have a large following or people follow me around like zombies, no, thank you. I'd rather stick to, oh, trust me, my spirits will give me an ass whooping. Just, keep it kosher. That's what I believe in, keeping it kosher. Okay. For real, for real. So, but I mean, as a practitioner, there are other things. I think that that's probably the worst thing. That's probably the worst thing imaginable, to lose your soul, because, sometimes people will lose their soul and there's nothing, they don't get nothing. So you don't even get an entity. You just like a shell of a person at that point. And at the very least, at least if you have a negative spirit that took over, at least somebody would suspect something and say, whoa, what's going on here? So, and people typically do have an intuition to that. If you don't have an intuition to that, then you better get one. Okay. And so, knowing these things, knowing what's happening spiritually doesn't mean that you have to go crazy or be paranoid all the time. Just take the steps to protect yourself and to protect your energy, protect yourself. That's all you got to do. You don't have to, go around, feeling like, oh, the world is crazy and da 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 da. Well, you know, I still like my life, and I know it. I see a lot of foul, crazy stuff going on all the time. I still think the world is beautiful. It has a lot of beautiful things in it, and it's worth living. Don't mean that you have to go, oh, I hate this world. You mean to tell me that, oh, God, it's time to go. We need to go. Where are you going to go? Oh, Roberto Goes to Jail. You have no idea what I was thinking about earlier. We'll have to talk about that on the other channel because I sure did think about going live yesterday. Yesterday about her. I sure thought about, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It could be her. I definitely do not recognize human being over there, but we're gonna digress from that subject. So, all right, guys, I'm in the mood for coffee. You know what I like to do when I have insomnia, guys, and what I know this sounds weird. I am a weirdo, though, I guess. If I have insomnia, you know what I'll do? I'll make some coffee and I'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street and light up my jars. And I think I'm gonna feed my wolves today too. Sure, you got insomnia too, son? My son got insomnia too. Ain't that a blip? All right, I'm at the. All right. Thank God Jacob don't have insomnia. He's over there late. He's asleep. The little man is asleep. So. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Trust me, I was thinking about that yesterday, and I thought about going live, but I said nah, because I had a lot of work to do. But yeah, definitely demon possessed. Okay. Definitely. Onions? What about onions? Oh, onions are you talking about onions for banishing bad spirits? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Onions for removing black magic? Oh yeah. In fact, I feel like chopping one in half. Uh-huh. Those things are amazing for removing curses or either black magic. Just removing a spell, period. Onions are good spell breakers. Okay. Yes, they are. They work better than any spell breaker oil you can buy. Cut an onion and well, and you know what? That's good. Roberto Goes to Jail, but you know what? I'm a witch, and so whenever I can't fall asleep, I get very suspectful. And see, a lot of people like I don't know, especially when I'm teaching my students, it's like keep calm and just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. But if you got to get up and go to work in the morning, it can get frustrating. Though, so that is understandable. See, but I would prefer to have went to sleep. I was up listening to that rain, and it just, it kind of. I'm in a great mood. I just could tell that, something's going on. Something's going on. Okay, and you know, I need a money spill to pay off my debt and get a reading. Well, honey, if you can't even afford a reading from me, you definitely can't afford a money spill. Jen, you laughing at actress singer? Or you laughing at me? Oh goodness. Hmm. Yeah, I'm about to drink some coffee and watch some uh Nightmare on Elm Street. I want to figure out who snatched my soul and get it back. Well, they must not have snatched it completely. You know, I just said that you ran. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. Roberto goes to jail. Be careful, because if your body gets inhabited by some kind of entity that doesn't like you or care about like what happens to you, you end up sleeping with the wrong person and catching a disease. You end up catching a disease. You wake up with some kind of disease. You wake up in jail, wake up, and then you be like, how did I get here? I wasn't supposed to be here. Okay. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this discussion. Hit that thumbs up. If you guys don't have any more questions, you guys can post the questions in the chat room if you'd like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Or I might watch Dream Child Part 5, because I actually bought that. It's in my movie collection. So I think I'm gonna watch Part 5, The Dream Child. I like that. I like Part 5. It's so funny. My favorite part of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 is when he runs into his mother, who's a nun, and she says something to him, and he's like, "We'll see, bitch. We'll see." have, y- have y'all ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street? That movie is so freaking funny. Yeah. Oh, Lord. So anyway, yeah, yeah, and no, but seriously, Roberto goes to jail. Yeah, she is that the person that you're talking about. I don't know if actress singer is her. I don't know, because I don't really know her energy. You may know her energy or the way she talks better than me, because I don't know her. I just know that she's stalking me a little bit. But that person, Cassandra, she's possessed, totally under possession of a malevolent spirit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Totally, very, 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 very malevolent spirit. Definitely could use some spiritual intervention. Absolutely. Coffee's done, and yeah. So, mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very, very far gone too. Yeah. And I know, because I actually felt attacked by her yesterday. But, of course I did something about it. I didn't go live and talk about it, but I definitely wanted to. Okay, nobody likes a whiner. And just, yeah. So you think that's her behind that account? Oh, wow. Roberto goes to jail. You know a lot about her. My goodness gracious. You know a lot about her, I noticed. Um, yeah, you remember that, Jen, when his mother said something to him. I can't remember exactly what she said, She was like, I'm going to stop you, Freddie. I'm going to stop you, Freddie Krueger, his mother. And he was like, as he fades into the smoke, we'll see, bitch. We'll see. Oh, Lord. Oh, wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me. When you do not instantly respond when being attached by the devil, what kind of advantage am I giving myself as opposed to responding instantly? Wait a minute. When you do not instantly respond when being, what kind of advantage? Oh, as soon as I pick up on something negative, I do an exorcism incantation. Yeah. Yeah, but this whole live is protected. Everybody in here should be protected. Everybody in here should be good. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to do an exorcism incantation before I go. But everybody should be good. But as soon as you pick up on something, you know, I've been wanting to do like a quicker exorcism incantation, since it seems like we're running into it a lot, like maybe exorcismus spiritus, exorcismus maledicta spiritus, blessed be, or something like that, because that's becoming more and more popular, the 1 to 2 to 3 worded incantations, as opposed to the one regna terre cantata deo. Yeah, but I always make sure I do that one when I do my cleanses and stuff. Yeah, and you know what, guys? I think that eventually the government is going to start quarantining people. I don't know if it's going to be during our lifetime, but I can see a future to where, people that are possessed like that uh, can be running around online and, you know, I think that Donald Trump was getting ready to do something like that though, because he was saying that C-19 was a invisible. He was saying that it was invisible. So, oh, okay, no problem, guys, no problem. Let me get my charcoal lit up and everything. Hold on, where is my charcoal? Let me find my charcoal and then I'll get it lit up. I think I'm gonna do tobacco too. That would be a good choice. All right. I bought me some Swisher Sweets at the store today because I like to use the tobacco instead of always using copal or just copal by itself. All right, we're gonna do the full one. Regna terre cantata deo salati sernonos. Regna terre cantata deo salati oradia. Cali dus terre, humiliter majeste, gloriae tuae supplicamus. Ut ab omni infernalium spiritum poteste, Laqueo and deceptione nequitia. Ominous fallace libera nos dominates. Exorcismus you ominous amundus spiritus. Ominous satanica potestis ominous incursio. Infernalius adversary omnis legio. Omnis incongratio secta diabolica. Ab insidious diaboli libera nos dominates. Ut coven tuam secura TB libertate severe facius terragamus animos. Ut inimica sancte circulare hemerlare dineris terragamus animos. Terribilis deus centennial sway. Cernanos ipse traderet virtutum plebes sue. Oradia ipse fortitudinum plebes sue. Benedictus Deus gloria patri. Benedictus Deo Mater gloria. Blessed be. Alrighty. Gonna banish all that stuff through time and through space. Smoke of air and fire of earth. Cleanse and bless this home and hearth. Drive away all harm and fear, and only good may enter here. And if spirits threaten us in this place, fight fire by fire and water by water. Banish their souls into nothingness and remove their powers until the last trace. Let these evil beings flee through time and through space. All right. She's still here. She said, I don't know who that is, actress, singer, but Roberto says that it's a demonic woman, demon chick, possessed by demons. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's Latin. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up. And I will be seeing you guys later. Okay. Have a good week. Thank you for coming. Bye. Blessings.